Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here as ever. We're here in Montana. This is the workshop that we've been setting up. It is starting to just look beautiful. There's some finishing touches that we need to work on. Have a look at this area right here. This is the area for blacksmithing tools. It's also the area for buckets of blacksmithing tools, and we need to do something about this. Since we've kind of combined a lot of the tools that I had that were taking up 2 of these trays, and then we combined those tools, which took up 2 of the trays, with some of Will's tools too. We just do not have enough storage space for the blacksmithing tools here in the workshop. So the plan is we're going to make ourselves a hammer cart that is going to be able to store all of our hammers, all of our top tools, all of our punches, all of our tongs, nice and neatly. We can drag it around wherever we need to because it's going to have 4 casters on it. So I have a design made up with a complete cut list. This is how it's going to look. The design doesn't show you a whole lot about how it's going to look. Thankfully, however, it tells me a whole lot about how I'm going to make it. It's going to be made primarily out of 1.5-inch square tube and 1/4 by 3/4 flat bar. The first thing that I need to do is start cutting up some steel. First little bits, I need 5 21-inch long pieces of 120 thou 1.5-inch wall tube. So let's get to it. All my steel cut. Got a big old pile of pieces ready. I now need to work out how I'm going to assemble this piece to weld it all together. The frame is constructed of 1.5-inch square tubing here, and I think I'm going to start off with this little H-like structure. So I'm going to need 48-inch. Oh, that's loud. Or 120 centimeter. And I'm going to need 2 21-inch pieces. That should be these right here. I am extremely excited to be using this fixture table for the first time. And on the vacuum chamber build, I did hear your comments. I did read them, and yep, I completely overbuilt the vacuum chamber. Apparently, I don't even need bolts. So that was very silly on my part. You were all very right indeed. That's what I get. Anyway, hopefully this hammer cart turns out a little more successful than the vacuum chamber. Here we go. Okay, I'm now going to weld the underside. Okay, I've welded these beads here, top and bottom. I'm now going to run into the grinding room. I'm going to grind those welds flat so we've got something flat to work with. Now in the process of welding up the bars that are going to be holding the hammers themselves. We have 1 line for hammers, we have a space for the heads of the hammers to occupy, we have another line for the shafts of the hammers. And you see I'm using these things here. There are 2 magnets in them, so they stick on the bars that I just welded. This is a perfect 2-inch square, and it is just a phenomenal tool. It's like a welder's gauge block. It's got this perfect strength of magnet that really isn't so strong that you can't wipe off the little bits of kind of slag and swarf that accumulate. It comes in this phenomenal box filled with all of the sizes that you'd possibly want to stack up and use as your welding. They're from Jason, the same guy that makes these Fireball tool squares. So make sure if you go grab yourself a set of these awesome welding gauge blocks, you use code FORGE. because you're going to get a discount, and I get a little kickback too. Jason's a great guy. He makes some amazing products for fabricating and welding. And these little gauge blocks, they are just so useful. I take my next piece, I line it up right on there. I hold it up to the gauge block so it's square. Tack weld this side, hold it on this side, tack weld that side. I was doubling them up right here in these spaces to make the 4-inch slot. They are just so phenomenally useful. This is a set of phenomenal tools. I have all the hammer holding bars in place and ready. Now, these are the bars that are going to be holding tongs here at the end of the rack. Trouble is every single one of them is just a smidge too long. I have the hammer bars and tong bars in place. This is exciting. We have all the space for tong storage we want, plenty of space for hammer storage, bottom tool storage too. So hopefully we're going to be pretty well sorted out with this. But this is just the top frame. What we now need to do, we need to flip it over and create our legs. I've only designed it to have a height of about 30 inches or so, which really isn't so high for a workbench or anything like that. But what I'm wanting to be able to do is have it low enough that I can easily reach over to the other side, pick up a hammer, be able to easily pick it up past the handle point without having to lift it up too crazy high. So that's why it's nice and low. It also means it doesn't get in the way of the other forging equipment, because over here we're at a similar kind of height with the anvil at 30 inches and with the leg vise at about 32.5 inches, 750 millimeters or so. So it's going to be nice. It kind of keeps things nice and low, gives some clearance in the workspace. Those legs are not going to get welded by themselves. I'm going to take some of Jason Fireball Tool squares, and we are going to start welding these puppies on, hopefully rather square. I'm getting ready to tack on the third of 4 legs. This is how I'm doing it. I have a big mega square here, making sure that we hold this square up and down. I had this clamped onto the fixture table with another mega square, a small one. I'm going to use it to make sure my leg is square this way and that way. So I'm going to put the leg in place, line it up with the bar on the other side of the frame. Look how cool this is. Slots in here, comes down. I can also use these indexing pins. Since I'm in the exact same place as the other side, all I got to do is take my cross member, put it in place. It's making my amateur fabricating skills make this so much faster than I ever could have, and it's probably going to end up being square, which is mind-blowing. I'm now ready to tack weld in here. I'm ready to tack weld this. Awesome. I love it. I'm going to put the welding hood back on and run a couple more beads. Okie dokie, I have got a huge amount of progress here on the welding. The key kind of components of the structure are all welded on. It is now ready for some wheels. We're going to use 2 spinny casters, 2 straight casters, and I'm going to take this piece of steel. This is about 3 millimeters thick by 3 inches wide. That is 1/8 of an inch thick by 75 millimeters wide. And that's going to make the pads that we weld to the feet. We're then going to attach these to this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This thing's going to have some wheels. And I just cannot believe how easy fabricating is with all the nice toys that I have now. So I'm very excited about that. This thing is awesome. It works. It is loaded up with all the tools that need to go on there. This is just, I love it. I'm really loving being able to have casters on equipment. You know, we have it on the welding tables. We have it on some of the other stuff. Being able to roll things around a workshop is just lovely because it means that we can have this stowed away somewhere when it's not being used. But if we're forging, we can bring it out to the forging area, keep it close. The shelf on the underneath is hot glued in because I bought a hot glue gun for the first time just a few days ago. The last time I used a hot glue gun was in design and technology class in school, probably when I was 13. And so I just wanted to use a hot glue gun, so the shelf is in. I love this. I'm loving getting things organized. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. It's been a pleasure, as always, bringing you along with this build, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.